The Business Mentor Talks is vlogged by no other, Armando Butz Bartolome, in cooperation with the Manila Times. It aims to bring to life and recognize entrepreneurs who constantly strive to create a living for the community as well. Listen to the Business Mentor Talks with Butz Bartolome.
Today, let me give you some tips because we have a very important guest who will tell us not about numbers, but how to appreciate numbers and how he became an entrepreneur. So he's also a member of Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Quezon City. So let's welcome Mr. Alvin Santa Ana. Alvin, good morning. Good morning Sunday to you.
Good morning and happy Sunday to all of our listeners. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, Alvin. Alvin, ikaw ay naging entrepreneur at what age? Ano bang edad mo nagsimula ka sa world ng pagiging negosyante?
Well, I started my private practice as an employee 2007, and then after 6 years, I started my own business, which is an accounting firm.
Oh, and you call yourself as, anong tawag mo dito? Simply Accounting. Tama ba? Tama ba yung...
Yes.
Oo.
Yes, my accounting firm is Simply Accounting PH.
Simply Accounting PH. Tell me, pag nagiging negosyante ba, ano ba ang nararanasan mo ng mga hamon? Let's say like pagiging partnership. What in your opinion would your advice be if you were to enter into a partnership? Kasi marami tayong mga kaibigan dito, marami tayong mga viewers na may mga partners. But again, I always say, we have to note well how our partnership. Ano ba karanasan mo dyan, Alvin?
Well, having your own business, lalo na in my case, no, it's an accounting firm. So it's two things at the same time. I'm practicing my profession, but I'm at the same time, I'm a business owner. So first is I have to be an expert in my own field. So that's number one. I think that would also apply to other businesses na wag kang papasok sa isang venture na hindi mo alam. So you should be an expert to your own at your own expertise. And then the other one is I'm also a business owner, no, managing the firm, running the business. So in running the business, I remember I started small. So when I started the firm, hindi agad ako nag-resign from private employment. I first do it as a mixed income earner. So I have my private job to give me a stable salary, but at the same time, I'm slowly establishing my own career, my own business. So I started small. I did not get an office right away. I did not hire staff. So I just do things at my own. So I established my own base, my own client base, especially in our business. We cannot advertise in our profession. So the only thing that we can get clients is through referrals. So the first clients that I got are really important because those are the pool of satisfied clients that will give you more clients. So I do not rush things. So parang I do it like 2 years, and then when the firm is already sustaining, and then I make it full time.
Oh, so yung nag-cross ka na ng bridge, ika nga, no? Kumbaga,
Yes.
but are you and your wife really together on this business, or is she also an accountant?
when I started this business, I'm single, and then I met my wife. The love story is the first client that we have. My wife is the accountant. So at that time, we have our own, love story. But then again, we've met for the second time, and that's the time that I courted her. I think we met 3 years after we had our first encounter, and then yeah, that's it's because of my firm that I've met my wife.
Correct, correct. So, yeah, alam mo, marami diyang Alvin, no? Kagaya natin, no? Yung mga nagtatrabaho muna, okay, mukhang kailangan natin mag-alaga ng anak. Okay lang, okay lang, okay. That's how the show goes on, okay? Unscripted tayo, no? But, ito, Alvin, ang importante dito, yung, there are a lot of people who are really at crossroads, no? Crossroads, no? Para bang, maraming mga nanonood sa atin na mga empleyado na who wants to really become an entrepreneur. Was it easy to start on starting your private practice at the same time employed? Ano ba yung ginajuggle mo doon? Ano ang secret key?
Well, the secret key is all business has risk. We cannot deny that. But you should learn how to mitigate your risk. Yung pwede mo siyang makontrol mo siya yung bawasan. And the secret is planning the business. Now, in planning a business, you should really know how to compute yung yung overhead costs, and then you need to really know how to project your income. Na pag nakikita mo na through your own planning, through your own projection, na in the next coming months or in the next coming period is magiging sustainable na yung business mo. And then that's the time that you will start on your own. So never start without a plan. And do not wait the time na na malaki na yung business mo before you let it go. Kasi the best time to do it full time kapag nakikita mo na you are reaching that destination that the business will grow big.
Oo. Nasabi mo, Alvin, na ang accountants are not allowed by law, no, na to advertise, at least here in the Philippines, no? Because sa US, nakikita mo mga lipanan yan, naglilipanan yung mga CPA. But how do you build your what is really the what you're building up, you know? You build your one client to another. Talagang word of mouth ba nangyayari?
Oh, that's one thing, the word of mouth. Just like you said, sa Western countries, Australia, US, they really have this big billboard,
Oh.
Big billboard na nag-advertise sila na we are the best accountant. They have that. Dito sa Pilipinas talaga, we're very conservative about that. So, there are two things how I grow my business. First is having satisfied clients. So, kahit sa personal Facebook ko, I cannot advertise that ito yung mga services that I do.
So bawal din. Pati pala sa Facebook, bawal din.
Yes, okay. Yes. So, bawal din. So, what I do is, yun nga, satisfied clients, that's what I do. Kasi once they are satisfied, testimonial. And then the second one is, I joined business organizations. Yeah, you joined the Philippine Chamber of Commerce, no? PCCI. Yes, PCCI. Yes. And then I joined JCI Manila. I joined BNI. I also joined Rotary Club. And those people that I've met, we develop trust and confidence because, getting an accountant is a very crucial decision of a business owner. Exactly. You must develop two things, trust and confidence. Because as an accountant, you will see all the sensitive information of the business. And as a business owner, you must trust and you should have confidence with your accountant. Yun siya important. The third one is, I also accept yung mga speaking engagement. Like, I speak for some of the programs of the organizations as a tax resource speaker. And then, those are pro bonos, yung mga speaker engagement. That's how we advertise our profession. So, Alvin, tell me, as a CPA, ikaw nakikita mo na yung mga negosyo, no?
ano yung mga nakikita mo mga flaws na dapat mga negosyante ayusin nila?
Yes,
Kasi alam mo, tama nga, ang accountant is a confidential in nature, no? And how do you see that business that are successful and business that are really, kumbaga, rikiti-rikiti, you know, yung mga nag-shake? Ano ba mga nakikita mo mga key points ng mga negosyo ngayon?
well, ito medyo maraming dito masasaktan or maraming makaka-relate. The first one is yung proper check and balance. Okay, lalo sa mga small businesses, we tend to hire yung mga kamag-anak, mga kaibigan, but there's nothing wrong on hiring the people that we know and the people that we can trust. What's wrong, I think, is, you know, compromising the personal relationship with the check and balance in business. So, pag nag-hire ka, halimbawa, ng cashier for your business, halimbawa, you have a small store, tapos may bantay ka doon, and then, sige, tiwala na lang kasi, ano ko naman yan, kamag-anak ko or kaibigan, you don't really put things that will check the performance or how the cash is being handled. So, kahit sinong kahit sinong tao, pag nagkaroon niya ng problema and then you presented something, an opportunity that they can get away, they can get extra income and they can get away with it. Parang ikaw na as a business owner, yung nagpahamak doon sa tao. Kasi you don't set controls eh. Minsan, sisisihin natin, no, pinagkatiwalaan kita and everything and you do this to me. But ikaw naman as a business owner, you don't put control. Parang pinabayaan mo lang din siya doon sa situation na yon. And I think those are the things na I heard stories from my clients na hindi sila nagtiwala lang sila, they do not check the money, walang cash, report sales, wala ring CCTV and everything. And that's what happened. So, kahit sino pa yan, you should really put a system in your business. So, yung number 2 na nabanggit ko is yung system. So, means that hindi, kahit wala ka, the business will run. Kahit wala ka physically doon sa yung business. So, you should really establish yung business process flow, kahit maliit man yan or malaking business. Ito yung mga standard procedure, dapat sundin, dapat may record, dapat may monitoring and everything. So, kahit you get to go to other places, may yung business mo, you can monitor it remotely. Kasi you place a system inside the business.
So in other words, para bang kung sa startup, Alvin, ano dapat mga nanonood sa atin, may mga startup, let's say like 3 months, 6 months, ano yung mga dapat na nilang dapat ilagay na pundasyon agad?
Dapat nilang kumpitin first is yung kanilang working fund. Yan ang kanilang kailangan kumpitin. So when starting a business, hindi lang capital yung kailangan mo kumpitin. Kasama dun sa working fund, yung first few months ng business mo na nag-establish ka pa lang ng sales. So, kung meron ka mang maliit na business and then nag-ipon ka for it, kumpitin mo din yung monthly cost mo na you have to spend for habang hindi mo pa na-hit yung sales that will make your business sustainable. So, importante yun. Yung ba kasi nag-start ng business, o sige, may pang-franchise na ako, okay na yan. Hindi nila na-compute na first 3 months, you have to really work, correct, you know, to have enough clients to sustain your business. So, computein lang nila yung working capital and then dapat meron silang plan how to get clients, how to bring customers in, and then, ano na yan, kung merong man dyang mga challenges along the way, madali na because they have already a plan.
Yung relationship between an entrepreneur and an accountant, ano ba dapat ang mga pillars nila aside from the trust and confidence? Ano bang kasi may mga kaibigan akong entrepreneur na you know they get frustrated because yung accountant di nila makita. Nung umpisa nakikita nila pero later on busy na, you know. Para bang what should be the relationship kasi minsan na frustrate yung iba namang entrepreneurs na hindi sila na-advise well. Ano ba yung mga criteria dapat ng entrepreneur hanapin sa isang accountant?
Okay, it would be a generic information, no. So paghahanap ka ng accountants, ang challenge sa accountant kasi is we have this confidentiality with our clients. So if you would ask the accountants ng profile, like mga client list, hindi yan magbibigay.
Confidential yan. Oo.
Confidential yan. You can't really check. Ngayon, kapag nagsabi yan na, just to get him na, eto, client kasi ganito, medyo red flag na yun. Because, we don't really do that. We don't really do that. And then, pangalawa is, kapag yung accountant, yung sa kanila, nagpo-push na kunin sila or kumontak sa kanila, hindi rin yan in accordance sa ethics namin. Kasi if you want a service, if you want to inquire a service upon professional accountant, yung client ang tatawag. Pero pag yung accountant ang tumawag sa'yo, medyo na yon. For me, that's red flag already. So, we also don't do that na for example, may ni-refer ka, sir, sa akin na client, I would advise you na you give my number to the prospect client and the client will call me. It's not the other way around.
Not the accountant.
So, lalo na kung wala ka namang tapos biglang may tumawag sa'yo. Parang ambulance chasing yan. And then, the third one is, you should have a contract. Tawag namin dyan is engagement contract. In the engagement contract, there are the scope of works na covered ng engagement. So that's very important. Yung payment terms, nandun din. And then kapag may mga additional scope of works, so when you ask for a service of an accountant, hindi lang yan verbal. So there should be a contract. Para if something's happened, it's always bound within the written agreement. So nandun din sa sa contract, yung deliverables, yung mga reports and mga BIR forms na ipa-file every month. So there would be a clear expectation between client and between the accountant. So may iwasan din dyan yung minsan yung client nag-over-expect na kahit tawagan yung accountant ng minsan 10 p.m., alas 12 ng madaling araw.
Hindi naman. Oo.
So, yung mga simpleng bagay, ganun. So, basta within the bounds of contract, kailangan lang ilagay yon na meron ding consultation about tax, about ganyan. And then, another is, maganda rin if, yun nga, meron kayong common denominator, yung referral na kakilala. So, as much as possible, wag yung total stranger. So, I would suggest, sa mga naghahanap ng accountants, they can ask organizations like PCCI, they can ask for recommendations sa mga organizations, they can ask kahit Rotary, di mga organizations, of course yung PICPA, they can call PICPA, then may mga chapter kami, kung saang city ka naka-place. And you can inquire for a list of accounting firms in that area na malapit sa'yo. So it's really good na
So in other words, kung halimbawa lumapit ako sa PICPA, sa head office, no? Like alam ko ang head office na dito sa may Shaw Boulevard, no?
Yes, so sa
Boulevard, right? And you can inquire because wala kang kilalang accountant, PICPA will be able to assist you. Ganun ba 'yon?
Yeah, they can give you a list of accounting firms or tax practitioners within the area.
So are these members of PICPA updated? Or do they delist also members na medyo naglumabag sa ethics? Meron mga ganun ba? Meron bang policies ang PICPA sa ganun?
Mm-hmm. Well, PICPA is a professional organization. Ang nag-govern ng practices namin is yung Board of Accountancy. Siya yung nag-aalis ng mga license and everything. But for PICPA, it's like other professional organizations. You need to be a good member. Babayaran mo yung dues mo, you have to wala ka dapat ethic case kasi nag-i-issue din ng PICPA ng good moral eh. So kapag may reklamo sila sa accountants, they can go to PICPA also para
Oo.
PICPA will help them to take action.
So, ang ano pala, meron rin palang liability ang accountant, no? Kung halimbawa magkaroon ng case yung client, ganun ba yun?
Yes, meron din.
The accountant will also be held liable. Pag halimbawa yung pinirmahan niya ng audited, ano ba pinipirmahan niyo doon? Audited financial statement.
Yeah.
And it was proven may default. The liability is also heavy on the accountant, no?
Yeah, external auditor, yung mga external auditors. So sa field namin, there's a lot of practice na pwede. The one that you've mentioned is yung external auditor, yan yung mga nagpa-public practice, accredited ng Board of Accountancy. Sila yung mas heavy yung yung liability. So there's this one case nangyari dito sa Quezon City na about yung mga fake receipts and then pinirmahan ng auditor.
Recently.
Yeah, sinampahan siya ng case ng DOJ yata yun, I'm not sure, para ipatanggal yung kanyang license sa PRC. And then yung iba naman, yung tax practitioner naman, yan naman dapat is BIR accredited. Iba ring field yan. Iba rin yung sa accounting. And yeah, iba-ibang pwedeng iba-iba ng focus. Yung mga nasa private naman, bound din yan, no, sa PRC kapag umano din ng ethics. So alam ko kapag nasampahan ka ng criminal case, something like that, matatanggal na rin yung license mo.
So really kasi nga you're bound by the rules, no, and you're liable, no. Kaya nga you really have to make sure everything is protected, both you and the client, di ba? So yun. So yes, magawin tayo doon sa meron kang sinasabing na develop na platform, Alvin. Ano ba ito? I-share mo nga sa amin. Ito yung TaxMate ba? Ano yung TaxMate?
Yes, sir. Actually, nag-start yan. It's our advocacy because I have friends then they are micro-business owners. But the thing is, they cannot get the services of an accounting firm because pricey eh. Because syempre, running a business, you will pay your rent and you need to have a competitive salary. So, medyo talaga yung service ng accounting firm talaga is mahal talaga compared sa income ng mga micro businesses. So, I'm having this thought na paano matutulungan yung a lot of entrepreneurs that are startups and then micro business para mag-comply, maayos silang maging responsible taxpayer sila. Because if they fail to be a responsible taxpayer, kawawa naman yung iba, no? Ang daming penalty minsan, nauubos yung pera, kakabayad ng penalty. And then, some of them end up on yung mga yung mga freelance na hindi naman professional na nagpa-file ng taxes. Minsan, mali-mali na yung nagpa-file. And then, they end up on paying the penalty. Kawawa naman. So, we thought of an idea that how can we leverage the time of the firm that it will not create a costly services for the micro businesses. So isa dun sa mga ways how you can do it is through automation, which can be done through an application. So, sa application, meron ka ring option. It could be a web-based sa laptop. It could be a mobile-based. So, since ang ating tinutulungan is yung mga micro-businesses, siguro naman most of them has cellphones. So, doon kami nag-focus sa mobile-based. And then, itong platform na to, TaxMate, you can download it for free sa Google app and then sa Apple Store. It is designed for micro business earners, means yung gross revenue nila in a year is 3 million and below. So kung 3 million and below yung iyong income in a year, you can benefit from this Tax Mobile app. So itong Tax Mobile app na to, you need your certificate of registration, of course, sa COR, yung BIR. That's the thing na kinakailangan mo para ma-register yung business mo. And then, yung mga details doon, yun ang i-input mo sa app. And then, every month, or every quarter, ilalagay mo lang yung sales amount mo doon sa app. And then yung app na magko-compute ng tax. And then yung app na is a platform. So, ang back office niyan is yung Simply Accounting, my company. So, we will get the details, yung mga lahat ng in-input doon. And then kami yung magpo-process ng filing ng client. And then, after nun is, marireceive na nila yung mga forms and then yung books of accounts din. So, ang naging lang nila, effort nila with the use of the app is input lang yung sales and then kukopehin lang nila yung mga journal entries na nandun na rin sa application. So, hindi na sila matatakot na hindi sila ma-comply kasi sobrang dali na magamit yung yung tax mobile app na yun. And pwede mo siyang gamitin for free, i-compute niya yung tax. Pero kung gusto mong i-subscribe yung service, which is i-file yung tax, tsaka magkakaroon ka ng books of accounts na pwede mong isulat, the cost is 150 pesos per month. So, para ka lang nagkape sa Starbucks.
Yeah. Mas mahal pa nga ang kape, no, Alvin?
Mas mahal pa ang kape. Pag nagpa-extra express, mas mahal na. The reason behind it is actually at cost lang namin inaano yung app. Because this is part of our advocacy, no. We wanted to do something for the business community, lalo na doon sa mga micro businesses saka mga professionals na nag-i-start pa lang. Kasi doon din kami galing eh. So, we know how hard it is to start your business. And it is our aspiration to see these micro businesses to grow. Ngayon pa nag-grow na sila, ang revenue nila is 3 million and above na in a year, they cannot use the app anymore. So, that's the time that they can hire professional accountants na to do their tax filing. So
parang ang ginawa mo talaga, you saw the pain points, no, of MSME, and you realize na hindi natin tulungan kasi ganyan din tayo nagsimula. No? You're giving them a lending hand, di ba? But how many since when did you start this, Alvin?
Well, we started this last year. So as of now, we have 1,000 downloads already of the Tax Mobile app. So hopefully, may recent pronouncement si BIR, actually last year pa to na pinag-register yung mga online sellers. Ngayon, nag-release sila ngayon ng notice sa Lazada and Shopee na kinakailangan mag-withhold na sila ng tax sa lahat ng remittance nila. Kasi when you order to Shopee, hindi naman agad napupunta sa merchant yung payment. Napupunta yan sa Lazada. And then si Lazada magbibigay kay merchant. So before nila ibigay yung mga sales ng merchant, mag-withhold na sila doon ng tax. Isasubmit na nila kay BIR. So, yung mga merchants, they are obliged na to report the revenue that they have. Kinakailangan registered na rin sila. Kaya itong mga past weeks, marami kong friends na nagpatulong at tinuruan ko how to register their business, yung mga online sellers. Kasi they required na sila ng mga e-commerce platform. So, itong mga online sellers na to, syempre first time nila, hindi rin nila alam kung anong gagawin. So, I'm looking for ways how to promote it to them that this app will help them to comply with their, para hindi ganun mabawasan yung income nila sa online selling.
Correct. Kasi yung iba, nadi-discourage. Sabi niya, paano yan? May tax na. Siyempre, we all have to pitch in for our tax, I mean, that's how the government will survive and give us the services, di ba? So,
yeah. 1% lang yan.
Being a responsible entrepreneur, no? Not just an entrepreneur for your own self, di ba? Yan importante. So, how would you assess the awareness of a lot of entrepreneurs in terms of the tax compliance? Ano ang nakikita mo ngayon? Is there really a constant effort that we have to really push from the elementary siguro to the high school to the college, ganun ba 'yon?
I would agree, no. Since I'm a graduate of a state university, and then I've experienced during my grade school tsaka high school in a public school, hindi talaga nadidiscussion about the importance of tax. Taxation is the lifeblood of the country. So, napaka-importante niya na maintindihan ng ano. So, based on my experience, explaining how taxation works to a business owner is very challenging na, lalo yung mga new business owner. Why? Because ang mentality lang about tax is ibabayad sa gobyerno. So, every tax law, every tax procedure, or every kind of tax na ibinigay ng government, meron niyang kanya-kanyang rationale bakit.
Correct.
For example, yung sales tax, VAT, 12%. Ang hirap i-explain kapag sa isang client, kapag di nila naintindihan yung VAT, na from the start, yung VAT na yan, hindi yan sa'yo.
Correct.
Yung 12% VAT is value added. Kaya tinawag yung value added, hindi yan sa'yo. Yung VAT na yan ang nagbabayad yung mga client mo. So,
Correct.
dumadaan lang yan sa'yo para i-remit mo. Kaya yan value added tax.
So, in other words, collector ka lang.
Collector ka lang. Kaya,
ito yung nagpapasa, di ba?
yes. Kaya ang tawag yan ay sales tax kasi binibigyan tayo ng government ng free market, no, to do our na makapagbenta tayo ng services or makapagbenta tayo ng products. Kasi without keeping the law and order ng government, di ba, yung police force, we cannot do that, di ba? So meron tayong, we have a safe and free market to do business. And yung value added tax, ang nagbabayad niyan, yung mga customer and clients natin, hindi tayo. So, binigyan lang tayo ng benefit ng taxation para naman equal. Kapag tayo din as a business, bumili din tayo ng mga gamit for our business, meron din niyang VAT input. So, pwede natin i-offset. So, I think that's fair enough already sa atin. Kung titingnan mo na the government is not getting our income na 12%, it's not ours in the first place. Kaya, I'm telling to my clients, if you will compute for gross margin, wag mong sasama yung VAT. That's always outside.
Oo, kasi iba, akala nila, earnings sila yung 12%. Sabi ko, hindi mo earnings yan eh. Ayan ikaw lang ang safeguard or keeper at you have to remit that, di ba?
Correct. So same with the withholding taxes. Yung mga withholding taxes, sabi ko sa client ko, hindi yan additional tax. Those are advanced income tax. Income tax mo na yan, kaya lang kinokollect lang in advance ng government. So sa dulo, pag ng income tax, pwede mo rin naman niyang ibawas. So kung hindi mo i-explain yung rationale about tax compliance, mahirap din dun sa business owner na mag-comply. Kasi yung iba ginagawa, sige, bayaran mo lang yan, or bayaran mo na yan, ganito lang bayaran mo. So, you really have to explain. And if we can do that, while pa sila, nasa grade school, let's say, or nasa high school, in our population, I think, that would make them, a better citizen. And we will be, may konting advocacy na to, we will be more, better din in choosing our leaders. Kasi, we are putting our share in the hands of the government. So, mas magiging intentional din tayo in choosing our leaders in our government. Kasi minsan, we take it for granted na, sige, nalang boto ko, or yan na lang si mayor, or ganyan. Pero, if they understand that as a citizen, bumibili sila ng mga gamit nila, nag-provide sila ng VAT, it's their, hard-earned money na sinashare nila sa government, they will be more responsible in choosing leaders. So, meron din niyang domino effect. May ripple effect din yan for us to have a better community, better city, and better country.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, that's one achievement if we can convince our leaders to, or especially the Department of Education, di ba, to think about introducing, anong tawag natin dito, accounting or taxation 101, di ba, yung primary. Meron naman pwede naman gamitin na madaling paraan, hindi ba? Para bang ABC yan alphabet Hindi naman natuto agad ang bata ng alphabet, di ba? So gradually, no? So 'yun. So Alvin, saan na pupunta ngayon ng Simply Accounting PH? Ano ba ang iyong direction ngayon, Dennis 2024?
Well, ang vision ng Simple Accounting, if you would notice, yung pangalan ng firm namin, it's not the traditional firm na Santa Ana Bagro and CPAs. So from the start, we brand it as medyo medyo hindi siya conventional, yung Simple Accounting PH. We choose that brand because ang gusto talaga namin is we will establish a platform. Our firm will be investing more on technology, no, not to make the practice obsolete, but I believe that yung practice ng taxation or accounting is need to be integrated more sa technology. Kaya the direction of the firm is we are investing more on automation. So we are introducing the use of mga accounting system, mga low-cost, that would help the businesses then to comply. So, and to monitor their business. So we would not
talagang sinasabay nyo na. You're embracing technology rather than fighting technology. Di ba? Kasi
yes,
mga entrepreneurs na ganyan Ano yung technology niyan? And tagal-tagal na namin, bakit pa yan? Hindi you cannot fight. But you have to embrace. You have to know what is good for you, correct?
Yes, correct. I agree. Sa college days namin, tinatakot kami ng professor namin na 20 days na wala na yung mga accountants because of technology. But I believe na if we can bring synergy between the practice of profession and then it's about time, no, na mag-invest tayo dun sa technology. Otherwise, mapag-iiwanan na naman tayo ng ng ibang countries. No, saan ba nagmula yung mga SAP, mga Oracle sa ibang bansa yan It's never wala tayo dito sa Pilipinas. So we really have to, invest. And yung mga nag-iinvest sa ganyan, mostly yung mga IT firms. But yung mga katulad namin na nagpa-practice ng profession, we should really invest on it as well kasi kinakailangan din ng guidance, professional guidance on establishing those applications and systems.
Good. One last thing, Alvin. How do you maintain your balance in participating with all the organizations that you mentioned? Para bang I lost track of all the associations that you have. You have your numbers to play, you have your family, and then you have all the associations that you are with. How do you do that? How do you balance?
Well, that's a good question. So, with those organizations that I'm joining in, I see to myself that I always understand the things that I need to commit and the things that I will benefit from those organizations. For example, JCI Manila. So what I can commit to JCI Manila is if they have community outreach or tax campaign to help the entrepreneurs. Yun lang yung mga focus or advocacies na magpa-participate ako. Not all the organization does. Isasamahan mo. Dun, you should see to yourself na kung saan ka lang mas makapag-contribute to the organization, dun ka lang magpo-focus. And I would also understand my commitment to the organization. Kaya, you cannot be an officer to all of the organizations. So, you will choose, for example, this year, I'll be an officer to this organization as a leader. So, dyan ka lang magsaserve. Other organization, you will help with your advocacy. So, hindi mo lahat gagawin. You just need to focus on certain advocacies and projects that you would be more effective. Otherwise, hindi ka rin magiging helpful sa organization if you overcommit. Just like what you said, hindi kaya talaga ng time. So you should really need to choose lang the things. Katulad nito, the platform that you have shared, this is a good one. I think it would give me the privilege to share my advocacy kung may nakikinig din dyan ng mga colleagues ko or kung meron din dyan mga small business earners or micro business earners that would help. So, yeah, those are the things that I keep it in mind. Otherwise, yun, mawawala ka na talaga ng time for the family.
Yeah, I noticed that you have a golf a plaque there. Is that one of your stress busters, Alvin? Being a golf player?
Yes, actually, I started to play. I started to take golf lessons last year, and this trophy is my second tournament. So I joined a tournament at least once a month. January, and then this is the February, and then this March meron din. Because, playing golf, 5 hours yan eh. So, for me, it's letting yourself to an environment na you don't have to think much. It's just playing the sport for 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah,
and that's very relaxing for me.
Yeah. Plus, you're able to establish your network, no? With people you play with.
That's I agree, no, sa golf. You have the chance to meet established business owners, and yun pa rin yung hinahanap ko, no, sa organizations. I'm looking for people who can mentor me.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi lang yung I'm really looking for those people na they could share their knowledge, lalo na yung mga established business owners. And playing golf, you will meet those people. Maraming mga na doon, established business owners.
That's good. That's good. So, I'm happy for you. And, I like what you are doing. You're doing an advocacy. You're not just doing it for yourself, growing and enriching yourself, but really creating that advocacy. Maganda yan, ha? And really, we'll encourage our viewers here, no? Ano man, anito, TaxMate?
TaxMate. Yes.
Downloadable in Android and iOS, right?
Yeah. So, if I can promote it again, so to our viewers, if you are a micro business owners or professional and your revenue is 3 million and below and you registered nasa BIR, you can download this app, TaxMate. You can search it sa Google Play and Apple Store. And I would ask you to subscribe for just 150 pesos per month. Hindi to budol. 150 pesos per month. It would help you to comply with your taxes. Saka yung books of accounts.
That's true. That's true.
Matutulungan na kayo. Yes.
Yeah. So send us a picture so that we can include this in the video and as well in the printed article that we will be sharing with Sunday Manila Times.
Okay, I'll send you the logo of the app.
All right. Okay, good luck to you and keep up that advocacy. Never tire yourself, never give up because everything will always result in good, positive things. Diba, Alvin? So, yun. So, thank you for the time. I know it's a Sunday. I know it's a family day for you, but thank you for sharing with our viewers this advocacy. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Di makulit kanina.
Yan ang makulit. May see the makulit. Yeah, yan. Okay, kasama ka sa aking vlog. That's family. All right, bye-bye.
All right.